Evolve! Attach! Attach to the active, we have 10 energy, 100-foot flames! Discard 20 cards, look at them go! There are a lot of brand new decks coming out thanks to Pokemon Go, and this one is incredible. I had it prepared earlier, and then I noticed this morning that Tricky Jim put his list up a little bit early, so I figured I'd re-record this intro so that you know that the lists are very similar. He and I both obviously having the same exact idea. We are going to utilize Charizard and Blastoise from the new Pokemon Go set to power up Centiskorch. This card has not seen any play since it was released in, I think, Darkness Ablaze, which is a long time ago. I recorded a video way back on it trying to get this mill deck to work, but now it is capable of discarding at least 20 cards from your opponent's deck. It is so good. 100-foot flames is the attack that we're going to be utilizing with this Centiskorch. For 1 fire energy, we discard cards from the top of our opponent's deck equal to the number of fire energy attached to this Pokemon. Doesn't seem that impressive. You discard a card, that's fine. But when you consider the fact that we have Vitality Spring Blastoise, which is a fantastic new addition to the metagame, which allows us to accelerate a ton of energy onto our field, we can very easily get the number of energy on our Centiskorch into the double digits. Vitality Spring means that once during our turn, we can search our deck for up to 6 energy cards, attach them to our Pokemon in any way we like, and then our turn ends. Normally, that would be very bad because our opponent would be able to bring those Pokemon into the active, but we have 4 copies of Princess's Curtain Diancie in the deck, which will prevent our opponent from using Boss's Orders to bring up those Pokemon. Princess's Curtain says as long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, whenever your opponent plays a supporter card from their hand, prevent all effects done to that by that card to your basic Pokemon, which is perfect. What we can do is we can use Blastoise to accelerate energy to our Sizzlipede, which then cannot be targeted down because of Diancie's ability. Finally, to wrap up this whole combo, and the thing that makes us able to discard 1/3 of our opponent's deck super easily, is the brand new Burn Brightly Charizard. We've already seen this one on the channel with the Arceus and Centiskorch VMAX deck, able to provide a whole bunch of extra energy to take massive knockouts. In this deck, we are using that Burn Brightly ability to double the amount of fire energy that we have attached to our Sizzlipede to get some huge discards going. Burn Brightly says that each basic fire energy, instead of providing 1 energy, provides 2. That means for every energy we have on Sizzlipede, we are milling 2 cards. So 100-foot flames, if we get, let's say, 8 energy on this card, we're going to be discarding 16 cards. It is not unreasonable to get 10 energy on this card, which then goes up to 20 to discard 20 cards. It is not unreasonable to do that. In fact, I have seen this deck discard up to 30 cards, which is incredible to be able to remove 50% of your opponent's deck with 1 attack. That is crazy. Now, the question is, how are we going to pull that combo off? We've got cards like Lucky Egg to be able to draw into extra pieces throughout the game. We can attach one of those to our Diancie and just let it get knocked out. But also, Irida is a super useful supporter in this deck in particular, because what Irida can do is it can search out the Blastoise and the Rare Candy to be able to evolve your Stage 2. This is fantastic because we want to get Blastoise out first so that we can get energy onto our Sizzlipede. Now, I think that this deck is going to be one of the decks that you need to be careful of on the ladder. It is going to be everywhere as soon as people see Tricky Jib's video, and I was hoping that it was going to be mine first, but it was coming out tonight. I shouldn't have done the Shadow Rider Mewtwo one last night. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is insane. I will jump across to some games that I have already recorded that are crazy, just so you know, and we will show you exactly why this Centiskorch is 100% certified cracked. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see if we can't get this thing to work. We have double Diancie and an energy. This is not a great start, but we can work with this. And it looks like we're up against one prize, Regigigas, which is a very, very useful deck at the moment. To be honest, though, I think it might have been overtaken by the new Lunatone and Solrock deck, which has since become a more popular single prize deck. I'm yet to make a video on that because I don't just want to put out the same videos as everyone else. We want to try and do unique things like this, which is crazy. Absolutely insane. Hopefully, we can get this one to work in this game. We know, because of the way that our deck works, our opponent can only ever take one prize at a time, and because we've started double Diancie here, we're actually in a really, really strong spot, especially if our opponent misses a knockout this turn, which is super likely. Our opponent playing Regigigas doesn't have a 100% certain chance of getting an attack this turn, because they need an extra 3 Pokemon on the bench, plus the 2 energy in the discard pile to be able to even consider attacking. So hopefully it all works out for us, and we are able to get ourselves set up. A Radiant Eevee on their side of the field. That is a very cool addition to Regigigas. I like that idea. Obviously, Regigigas has a whole bunch of different types of Radiant Eevee, able to search out cards depending on the amount of different types you have on the bench. We're going to grab a Squirtle. Actually, no. We're going to grab Greninja and a Level Ball, because the Radiant Greninja is easy to grab, and we can just Level Ball for the Squirtle. We'll play down the Greninja, we'll play down the Squirtle, and then we will use concealed cards, discard a Fire Energy, and draw 2 cards. And we've got a Sizzlipede here, which is pretty cool. Just attach to that, and then Spike Draw. For 1 energy, we deal 20 damage, but more importantly, we draw 2 cards, and you can see here, this hand is lining up quite nicely. We have Charmander, which we can throw down onto the bench. We have a Rare Candy. We have an Irida, which means that we can search out another Rare Candy and a Blastoise if we want to. We also have Raihan in hand, so we theoretically could, if our opponent takes a knockout, get ourselves any card that we like with Raihan. But there you go. I was talking about all the different things that we could have done. I didn't say as long as my hand stays the same, but I may as well have, because we have been manied. And this hand is way worse. At least we have a Charmander. At least we have a Charmander. Okay, so we're going to need concealed cards here. We're going to need to draw some extra ones with these energies, but that's okay. Hopefully we can get ourselves into a Blastoise this turn. I'm not overly confident, but you never know what could happen. Twinkle Gathering here from Radiant Eevee will allow our opponent to search their deck for 4 cards. They have 4 different typed Pokemon on their bench, which means that they can search for up to 4 cards, which is a very, very useful card, especially in control archetypes. So I would definitely expect to see that in some very frustrating decks in the near future. For the moment, I'm not going to think about them. Control decks are not for me. I'm not into them. Active milling. I will actively mill my opponent, but I will not control them. What do we got? Let's grab this Diancie here with this Heavy Ball. I like that. I would also like to play this Charmander down. Let's Level Ball first. We had a couple of Irida in hand. We'll grab out, I don't know, Manaphy seems fine. And then we'll concealed cards. Hopefully, we can just draw straight into an Irida or something here. Rare Candy Lucky Egg is okay. Rare Candy Lucky Egg is okay. It's not good, but it is okay. We'll just attach to the Sizzlipede again, and then Spike Draw. 20 more damage onto this Radiant Eevee. We've drawn into the Blastoise. So we have the Rare Candy, the Blastoise. We're going to get some more cards if our opponent takes a knockout this turn, which you would expect that they would. So we'll draw a couple more cards. We can put the Diancie on our bench into the active, and then play down another Diancie, then use our Blastoise to power up our Sizzlipede. So I reckon we are just about ready to get this combo going. And one of the best things about this deck, which I really, really like, is that because your opponent is going to find it very, very difficult to take knockouts, they need to take knockouts in order to win the game, obviously, and they can only take single prize ones, and usually they can only take knockouts on Diancies, you actually have a long time time to set your combo up. So it's about 3 or 4 turns before you're able to eventually get your Centiskorch out. So I really, really like this. There's actually a lot of time to get going. And another thing that I like, our opponent has used 22 cards, oh sorry, not used, has left themselves with 22 cards left in the deck. So we, as long as we can get ourselves set up, will have a really strong chance to get this win here. Let's, double Rare Candy is super, super good. We'll play down the Diancie. We will Rare Candy into Blastoise. I like that. I like the, what do I like? I like the Lucky Egg attachment. It's attached to the Sizzlipede as well, and then we can just Vitality Spring, search out 6 energies from our deck, and then throw those down onto the Sizzlipede on the bench. If our opponent takes a knockout on the active Diancie, which they will need to do, then we will be able to draw 4 more cards before the start of our next turn. And hopefully we can find a Charizard and a Centiskorch in there. If we can, that would be great. If we can't, we've got another Diancie, which will give us some more time. An issue for us might well be if our opponent decides to use Boss's Orders onto our Blastoise. That might be what they're doing here. Oh, they've targeted the wrong thing. Heartbreak for my friend. They've targeted a basic Pokemon. You cannot do that with Diancie in the active. So you are just going to need to take a knockout. Okay, this could be it. What are we drawing to? Do we get the cards? We get the Centiskorch? No Charizard. Okay, we're going to put the Diancie in the active. Double Cynthia's ambition. That's so awkward. Okay. We don't want to evolve into the Centiskorch. That would definitely not do it, because then they could use Boss's Orders. Let's use Ordinary Rod. We're just going to shuffle in some energy. We don't care about the Diancies per se. We probably could have put one of them in, but I think this is fine. We're going to concealed cards here and try and draw. Just draw into the Charizard. Okay. Not great. Not great. Not great. We can play the Charmander down. I think we can attach to the Diancie in the active. Then let's just Cynthia's ambition and see what we can find. Okay, this is a rough hand for us. We are going to put the Lucky Egg on the active and then just spike draw. We'll draw 2 more cards. And again, no Charizard. So we're going to need to see that mighty soon. I'll tell you what, if we do find the Charizard next turn, we will be milling the exact right amount of cards from our opponent's deck. They have 20 cards left in their deck, and we will have 10 energy on a Sizzlipede next turn. The question is, can we get 10 energy onto a Sizzlipede and a Charizard? That might be a little bit of an ask. There's the knockout. We won't draw with the Lucky Egg, because we already have more than 7 cards. Let's put the Sizzlipede in the active. We're just going to roll the dice here. We are going to absolutely 110% roll the dice. Let's go, Centiskorch. We'll attach... Oh, no, we won't do that just yet. We'll play the Level Ball first. Grab the Diancie. That way we could retreat. Maybe we should have waited to evolve, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. We'll play the Diancie down. It's a little too late. We might just need to concealed cards into it here. Charizard, that's the Charizard, and we've got an energy as well. Okay, evolve, 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 attach, attach to the active. We have 10 energy, 100-foot flames. Discard 20 cards, look at them go. Look at that. And victory is ours. It is as simple as that, ladies and gentlemen, as simple as that. The game is once again afoot, and we have a Level Ball in our hand, which is good. That can grab ourselves a copy of Diancie, which I like to have on the bench. I'd also like to play down a Squirtle and a Sizzlipede as well, thank you. Now, I'm thinking what we might do. To be honest, playing against Mew, they are likely to take a knockout this turn. So I'm just going to throw down 2 Lucky Eggs and attach an energy to this Diancie. They can't knock out unless they play Elise's Sparkle, so I'm just going to assume that they have the cards to get a KO. And we're just going to leave it at this. Hopefully this is enough. Like, that we can just get knocked out this turn. I've never been more excited for my opponent to just knock me out than I currently am. I'm also assuming that we are playing against Mew. Oricorio plus Mew deck box and sleeves makes me think we are. Cramomatic plus VIP Battle Pass makes me think that we are. Gonna prove me wrong and make me look like an idiot? Genesect Mew. I was right. I was correct. Alrighty, so... Cram-O-Matic again. Could he flip heads twice? Yes, he absolutely could. Good player, good game. Another VIP Battle Pass. Alrighty, here we go. Not worrying about those energies and that Elisa's Sparkle not required. Instead, filling up the boards with a bunch of Battle VIP Passes, which is fair enough. Genesect's out the wazoo here. Okay, so what does our opponent actually need to get a knockout? They need Elisa's Sparkle plus an Energy. Then they also need to find a Switch or an Escape Probe, which we have. We have a response to either of those things. If they do either of those things, we are in a good spot. And I'll also note as well that Mew will be a deck that will actually mill itself most of the way. So we may only need to attack one time. That's okay. Meloetta into play. Completely fair, completely reasonable. Are they going to be able to find the Energy and the Elisa's Sparkle, or am I going to have to just sit and wait and hope and do the best that I possibly can? Trekking Shoes. Trekking Shoes, they're still digging. They are still digging. Like a digging thing. A miner? A miner would dig. No, not anymore. It would mostly be dug by machines now. It's not the 1910s anymore. If you're a coal miner from the 1910s and you're watching this, then leave a comment down below. That's how I'll know that you are still watching, by the way. If you are a person who is still here and still watching halfway through the video, firstly, thank you. Leave a like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. We have not been knocked out. Now we panic. We have a Fire Energy. Okay, what can we do here? I was really just hopeful that we could just get knocked out and draw some cards, but hey, it doesn't always happen that way, and that's fine. Also, if you are a coal miner, then please like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Can you do that for me? You can do that for me, can't you? I'd appreciate it. Alright, now, let's actually think about what we're doing here. I should probably stop wasting my time. We can attach to the Manaphy, and then we can retreat into Diancie and Spike Draw, and hope for the best. We actually don't deal any damage because of the Oricori. Oh my god, I just looked at my hand. Cynthia and Irida. Okay, whoa, alright. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's happening. We have what can only be described as a playable hand. It is playable, at the very least. I can get a Blastoise next turn. I probably need another copy of Diancie, though. My opponent knocks us out here, we will need to find Diancie to put in the active, but that's alright. We can definitely achieve that if we want to, although we might not be able to guarantee that we get the Diancie and the Blastoise. We might have to roll some dice and Cynthia instead, but that's okay. Our opponent does have the Mew VMAX in the active, so they will be able to take that knockout. We'll draw cards, though, with Diancie, so we've got plenty of opportunities. Like, 4 cards plus Irida plus Cynthia's Ambition, it is totally likely that we can find the pieces that we need to find. Also, I just looked across at my OBS. Is it a little bit jittery for you? I don't know, maybe I'm just going crazy, but it looks like it's a little bit jittery. I don't know, maybe not. We'll wait and see. There's Melodious Echo. That does not take a knockout. Friend, why? Why did you do that? Why did you not take a knockout? Alrighty then. Irida, we will grab ourselves... What have I got in my hand? I just top-decked a Blastoise. Oh my gosh. Holy dooly. Rare Candy and Level Ball seem like pretty good cards here. We've got the Charmander in the deck. What can we do? What can we do here? Do we go for Rare Candy? Do I get the Greninja, maybe? Rare Candy definitely seems like a card that I want. We've got the Blastoise now. I think just the Greninja. I think the Greninja's fine. We don't need the Charizard right now. We can just go for it. Let's get this Blastoise here and just stock up on Vitality Spring Juice. Maybe I should have just gone for the Charizard, to be honest. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, the Charmander was definitely the right choice. Should have level boarded to that. That's okay. We don't always make the right decisions. Our opponent didn't make the right decision. They missed the knockout on the Diancie, which is a wild time. I think what happened is they forgot about the double turbo energy's reduction of damage. I think that's probably what happened. And that's perfectly reasonable, because it is something that you do forget about quite often. So, it's okay. The real shame is that they could have just taken a knockout by using Techno Blast. But that's alright. 'Tis not for us to reason why. 'Tis but for us to use Centiskorch to discard 30 cards. That's what our job is right now, and I think it's going to happen. I'm relatively confident, let's put it that way. I'm semi-confident that we are going to be able to get this Centiskorch off. I should have gone for the Charizard, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because we could potentially win next turn. Depending, of course, on how many cards our opponent draws. But that's okay. We don't need to win next turn. We actually have 5 turns to win this game, so we don't need to go crazy. We can just go for it, and we'll be fine. We've drawn a whole bunch of cards. This is nice. This is nice. This is very nice. I'm very happy with this. I'm very happy with this indeed. We will put the Manaphy into the active. The Rescue Carrier means we've got a guaranteed Diancie, which is good. Raihan is a thrilling card that I love the look at. I love the look of. We have a Charmander in the prizes, so we can throw that into the bench. And then I think the right thing to do is just to go for the Rescue Carrier. Well, Diancie, put that in play. I like that. I like that a lot. We can then retreat into that Diancie. I think that's fine. And then, to be honest, we don't really need to do much more. We'll Raihan here. Just attach to the Centiskorch, or the soon-to-be Centiskorch. We'll grab ourselves a Lucky Egg just to really rub it in. And then Vitality Spring onto that Sizzlipede again. Now, I will say this much. At this stage of the game, there is one play that can completely ruin us, and I wish I had another Diancie on the bench, because this would stop it from happening. But if our opponent uses Escape Rope, we will lose. They use Escape Rope, we will lose, because they'll Escape Rope, will have to put something that isn't Diancie into the active, then they can boss the Sizzlipede, and I don't know about you, but it is going to be mighty tough to power up another 13 energy Sizzlipede before we lose this game. But they've used Elise's Sparkle. Alright, it's party time, ladies and gentlemen. We can put the music on. Celebrate good times, come on. I don't want to sing anymore. I'm gonna get copyright struck. It's a celebration. We've got all the cards we need to win. What is going on? This is just ridiculous. Okay, Cross Fusion Strike. We have the Irida. We can search out the rare candy. The Charizard is in the hand. The Centiskorch is in the hand. Shall we, ladies and gentlemen, shall we take a big, what's this, 26 card mill? They don't even have that many cards for us to discard. Rare candy into the Charizard. Look at this. What a combo. What a deck. Oh, I love it. 100-foot flames. Farewell the rest of my opponent's deck. It was nice to have seen you. Bad luck, Mew. What an incredible deck. I've genuinely not had that much fun playing Pokemon in a long time. And I've also, in between recording the games and this, I just noticed that Tricky Jim put this deck out. So now I'm going to need to go and re-record the intro. So that I can... This is fine. You'll already know that Tricky Jim has a video out, because I've already told you about it in the intro that I'm about to go and record now. Oh my goodness, life's hard. Anyway, thank you very much for coming along, appreciate you, and if you're one of these people over here, then you are a channel member, and I am a massive fan of you. I really should update that list, there's more people on there now. If you'd like to chuck a buck my way to help me support the channel, then that would be fantastic. $3 a month gets you the basic tier, it's as simple as that, and then YouTube gives me money, which is great. Not a lot of money, but you know... You can turn the lights on, which is good. Also, play this deck. See this? This is a ripping one prize deck. Magikarp's super good. There's a whole bunch of budget options for you right now in the Pokemon TCG. So, Pokemon Go, thank you very much.